bastards are gonna own me.
Papa's getting wasted tonight.
I am completely out of ammo.
Cross my heart, smack me dead, stick a lobster on my head.
The situation has indeed worsened. You think?
And when I return, I'm gonna drink a bottle of scotch, as if it were Chicky von Richthofen's blood, and celebrate.
Afraid we're at an impasse.
You really are filthy.
And fine.
Come upstairs into my etching.
Welcome back to the Graveyard Shift, everybody. We had to deal with our old school intro just for a moment because StreamYards is being stupid. And so I do apologize for that. However, we will be back on our normal intro schedule, hopefully in a couple weeks, because I will have finally figured out the riddle that is StreamYards. So thank you, everybody, for tuning back in. Yeah, that's right. We are back for the last part of Friday the 13th, Season 3. It's taken us a little while to get around to this because the show is that bad when you get to Season 3. And Glenn and I are here to talk to you about it. So thank you for suffering with us. You can punch in, and we'll let you know when you can punch out.
So I feel the necessity to be like completely sincere with our audience. That's just the way we've always been with our show. We're very candid here.
Yeah.
So there is a lot going on in both of our lives right now, as I'm sure everyone at home can appreciate. And it takes a lot of extra effort for us sometimes to watch a show. Only once has there ever been a requirement of this much effort for us to finish out a fucking TV show.
10 episodes and 4 weeks later, baby. It would have been the same if we had done War of the Worlds Season 2, bro. I am telling you from my experience, I think that would have killed us.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Like, I had shit go down. I had food poisoning 2 weeks ago. So that's why we didn't do it the first week. Last week, I don't know why we didn't do it, but I was all prepped up and ready to go.
I told Kevin, I told you I said it for the 11th, not the 4th. It's a holiday. I didn't want us to have to go on a holiday. And you're like, well, I'm ready to go. I'm like, dude, I was ready 2 weeks ago. And you're like, well, I'm out of here anyway. I'm going to see fireworks with the kids. And I'm like, that's fine. I wasn't planning on it anyway.
At least the fireworks were cool, but the kids were like totally awful. I wanted to come home and record. We had a good time, though. We had a good time. Yeah, but and then Saturday night, I was kind of like, oh, let's pretend we're all ready for Friday the 13th. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. We're back into the saddle again. And for our next episode of Nostalgia TV, we're going to be getting back into Resident Alien Season 3. So we'll see how many episodes that is and go from there. Might be a two-parter, but if we can squeeze it in, we might do the whole shebang. I don't know how many episodes Season 3 is. So
I think it's 8. I'm not sure. Or did they get an increase for Season 3?
The benefits of live professional YouTubing.
I mean, we have
I'm gonna look it up.
The world's all of man's knowledge in the palm of our hand, and we use it for kitty pictures. KITTY, just to be clear.
Season 3 is 8 episodes only, so that will be a full episode. So we will get through that whole season next time.
See, I know shit.
Sometimes. Well, Kevin, it's been a few weeks, about 4. Do you actually remember watching the last half of this? Not this last time, but like the first time. And what did you think? What, you got any memories about Season 3?
Okay, so let me bring the series back up just so I can get the titles back into my head, because it's been a while. And actually, yes, you know what? there was a great number of episodes that I remember from season 3. I don't remember Johnny being in as many episodes, but I remember the scenarios and the situations from season 3 way more than I did season 1. But season 2 was really, I think, my core memories of this show.
Yeah, same here. And when you get to season 3, I get a little like wishy-washy. Like I remember like concepts. I don't remember Johnny being the hell all over all the episodes though. And, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. Johnny kills this season for me. The actor is just freaking terrible.
They weren't sure how to use him, and they were kind of using him all over the board. Like, is he a new apprentice for Jack? Is he a new love interest for Mickey? Is he actually getting this shit right? Is he going to be a problem for the show? Is he going to be a help for the show? And they didn't know what to do with him. And so again, within these 20 episodes, you're just kind of like, oh gosh, okay, fucking let's figure this shit out at some point. Like, you figured it out in the first season. You figured out their direction. That would pretty much solidified really well and really quick.
Yeah. It's too bad that they couldn't figure this out very well.
Not really. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. It is too bad, but you're right. They didn't figure it out at all.
No. And I would argue this might have been the season to when they noticed something was an issue, that maybe they should have just focused on Robbie and Jack carrying this show. You didn't actually need to bring in a third person, because between the two of them, they could clearly carry this show by themselves. Because when Johnny was not around and it was just Jack and Robbie or Jack and Mickey, it was like, here we go. This is A-okay. They got this. They don't need the third hand.
Oh shit, there was one episode where they weren't even in it until the end. God damn, the repetition, I think it was the one where the guy had the cameo locket.
Yeah,
like they didn't affect anything at all. Like, somebody else was the one that was basically chasing the guy that was swapping out souls in the locket.
Yep.
And they just happened to cross it at the very end. And you're like, all right, well, that's anticlimactic. But this season really kind of jumps the shark as far as like their purpose of going out and finding these artifacts that Lewis sold. Now they're just like randomly finding shit. And you're like, yeah, okay. Or sometimes people are bringing them things, and that makes sense. Like, okay, that's fine. If they have a repetition for this, that's fine that people would bring it to you. I mean, you see that in Ghostbusters, not Afterlife, Frozen Empire.
Right.
Yeah. Only without the YouTube subscribers, which, by the way, click like and subscribe. I can't even say it. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about us.
Like, share, subscribe. That's what you say.
Thank you.
So please do so down below. And wherever you are tuning in to us at, I tried to set us up on Rumble, and that was not working tonight. So I will have to upload this at another time.
I feel like if I get like, share, and subscribe stuck into my head, I'm going to forget, stop, drop, and roll and die horribly one day.
Okay, I'll just call in for an earthquake. That might be on back order for the next 2 months, though. Just saying. And I don't know if California insurance is going to cover that kind of damage.
No. Oh, fucking not anymore, man.
They don't cover shit to begin with anyway.
They're going to get sold back to Mexico. Anyway, that's enough of real life.
So they could sell this show back to Mexico.
This season was kind of like a Temu season. That's really what it was. But the bad thing is not so much the fact that they jumped the shark, is that they had some really cool concepts in this season. Really cool concepts, like the monkeys, or the monkey statues. I remember that very vividly from my childhood. That was one of the things that I remember the most, was the monkey laughing and moving and looking up at the camera, and you're just kind of like, it was just so cool. And then the madness of the gong and the drums. It was visually a very stunning episode.
All right. God, that was a pretty good one. Midnight Riders was a fun one where Jack has to deal with his dad. And then Mightier Than the Sword, where Robbie goes crazy with a little pen that sucks the souls out of everything.
That was cool. I remember that one too. That one was a lot of fun.
Those are the few that have always stuck in my head. So
yeah, and again, this season was like collectively trite, but there is a lot of good to take out of it because it is part of the Friday the 13th TV series. It wasn't like they just dropped all quality, just a good 60% of it.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on for what I would call for the correct proportion of what they dropped. About 60% of the show. Losing John was not a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could have done to keep him, though. He kind of wanted out, and they let him go. So,
well, it's hard because if you pay him too much, you're going to hurt the rest of the production.
Right.
So, golly, I don't know. Maybe make a deal with Paramount never ever liked to make deals between TV and cinema.
All right.
Shit, even Disney's trying to model after that now.
Yeah, that is very true.
But you'll see that on Saturday night on Deadwire Live.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for news, highlights of the week, horror, science fiction, and pop culture, and obituaries from Kevin.
Not so far this week, man.
Yeah, just jinxed it, brother.
I don't know. Like after last week, I'm okay with nobody dying.
Yeah, that was like 30 minutes of people dying.
But at least we got to start with Jimmy Swaggart, so that was cool.
Yep, pretty much. I made a little clip of that, and it wasn't so little because it went like 30 minutes long.
You make yourself one of the most hated people to an entire generation, and then you expect people to be sad when you die. No, dude, we are throwing rock and roll parties. We are happy you are dead.
Not all dogs go to heaven, brother.
No. And you made
just bitches.
A lot of pain, so good hell.
See, you wouldn't want to be you.
So, like in the Divine Comedy, Satan has 3 heads. And when Dante sees him, in one of the heads, he's chewing somebody eternally. And it's Judas Iscariot. So technically, there's room for 2 more.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Wagga, wagga, wagga. Like Pac-Man style.
Oh, shit. That would be fucking rad.
Yeah,
waka.
Wagga, 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 wagga.
Some people's hell would be my heaven. I love that sound. And to watch terrible people get chewed on. That's kind of like watching G4. Like when they had MXC.
Oh, yeah, way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The good old
days. We digress.
Yep, we digress. But there's some episodes we can get into unless you had any other like fond memories of this show you'd like to share with anybody.
You know what? I really would like to share my favorite part about this show, and that was it was the center point. This and Freddy's Nightmares was pretty much the center point of Friday nights for me for 3 years. And it was phenomenal. Like it was great because I would have my friends come hang out and spend the night on a Friday night. We'd all watch this shit at my house. And then Saturday night, we'd go to somebody else's house and watch Saturday Night Live and play video games and eat popcorn over there. And it was just like the greatest shit. Friday and Saturday nights were the bomb when I was a kid during this time period because of this show, because of Freddy's Dead or because of Freddy's Nightmares. Like just love it. I love it.
Yeah, I was seeing this on a different night. It was coupled with Star Trek The Next Generation. I want to say, at least for the first few seasons, I think that was a Saturday where I was at. And there was no Freddy's Nightmares for me, but I remember seeing it like on a different day at a different time. So eventually I would see it, but with Friday the 13th, I watched this right along with like Star Trek The Next Generation, and that was what it was coupled with in syndication back then. And then it got into a little bit of a routine on a different night, at least Star Trek The Next Generation. So I was able to keep going with that, and I did see like all through Friday the 13th, the third season, and I just kept on rolling with Star Trek after that. But when this one went away, I was like, well, it needed to go because season 2 was not great.
Yeah. But, I mean, I was stomaching War of the Worlds season 2 at that point. So who was I to judge by
That's true.
Season 3?
Same.
Like, this was still pretty good, I guess, by my standards. But I remember waking up, like falling asleep during War of the Worlds and waking up for this. Or being upset because I slept too late and missed this, or missed Arsenio Hall or some shit like that.
Right.
Not that I ever watched Arsenio.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey, I know. If you know, you know.
People at home are going, they're so dumb.
Nerds. Damn straight. We grew up in the 80s and the 90s, everybody.
That's our problem. We're natural dissenters.
Straight up. Homie, don't play that. I'm going to hit you over the head with a loaded sock.
And see, that was the thing. Like, instead of being out playing and shit like that, or doing anything useful, we were watching shit like this on Friday nights. I loved it.
Straight
it was so much fun. This and next, I want to mention it now so I don't forget it later. Coupled up with this and Freddy's Nightmares, I still want to get you to watch Monsters and the remake of The Twilight Zone, because that shit was really good too.
Was that more mid to late 90s, the Twilight Zone remake?
No, that was
also a different one.
Okay. Yeah, that was the 80s. Oh wait, am I thinking Tales of the Dark Side? Might have been Tales of the Dark Side.
Might be Tales of the Dark Side, because when they rebooted Tales Twilight Zone, I distinctly remember watching that on like CBS, and that was like the mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And that was okay. I remember like this dude having like the kind of like goatee kind of thing going on in like one of the first episodes. And I'm like, I always wanted one of those. I always tried to grow it, and it wasn't until years later that I actually could.
I got told no, that only drug dealers and shit and gangbangers have goatees.
Who doesn't like a good gangbang? Just saying.
It's good to be the king.
Giggity.
All right.
Hey, what's up, Idaho Mike? And thank you for tuning in at just the right time.
Hey, buddy.
Best mod in town.
Just missed a bunch of debauchery. That's all. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing important yet.
Yeah, we're trying to talk about anything but this show.
We're doing pretty good so far. Pretty good.
I'd say so.
We've gotten the rest of the Friday Night Frights in.
I think
season
so.
2 of War of the Worlds. That got in there.
I ain't watching that shit.
No. I'm just saying. I said we mentioned that or talked about that
Okay.
instead of this tonight so far.
Because I got rid of that DVD set like long ago. I only kept season 1.
Really, dude? I wore that like a badge of courage.
Oh. Sure,
you're a badge of honor.
You're gonna be like one of them little drug addicts where instead of needle tracks, you got disc scratches, because that's how you cut yourself so you remember.
So I remember. John Wick. All 4 of them. This was the ballerina.
No, that was the Continental TV show.
I still have to watch that too.
I do too, but I've heard it's not great.
I know.
But it's got Mel in it, so I kind of want to see it anyway. Mel as a young Winston is kind of like, wow, really?
Mel's not young Winston.
Because it takes place in the 70s. He's young Winston.
I thought he was the bad guy that's trying to kill Winston, or that Winston's trying to kill.
I could be very wrong. I haven't seen the show. What does that tell you?
I
know Mel's in it, so I want to see it.
I want to say I watched like 10, 15 minutes of it, and I hadn't gotten back to it.
Yeah. Well, the original creators, they gave them notes, and they were promptly ignored, so they kind of washed their hands of that show.
Oh, really?
That's what happened.
That's effed up. Like, why would they do that? They've
got me on that one.
If everyone wants to have something as crisp as the original MCU, keep your shit tight. Your continuity's got to be great, and you've got to have somebody, a lead writer, that's keeping everything focused. And if you can't do that, you're not going to have a legacy. You're not going to be able to print money like Marvel did for 10 years. You know, come on.
This is why we can't have nice things, Kevin.
Exactly. Friday the 13th, season 3.
So yeah, back to Friday the 13th, season 3.
Sorry. Yeah, so great.
I could go start drinking whiskey back here.
I'm smoking, so whatever. I have a lot of just fond memories of playing Nintendo, still waiting for this to come on, playing Nintendo, drinking hot chocolate, eating pizza, and just drinking Jolt Cola and passing the fuck out eventually. Not before midnight, but eventually.
Eventually.
And then play the next day, go home for a bit, and do it all the next day at somebody else's house.
Right. Jeez. The good old days. I remember staying up till like 2 a.m. to watch like DS9 and Total Recall 2070 at one point.
Really?
Yep. That's how I saw the Dominion War get resolved in DS9.
Wow.
I gotta admit, those were some dope special effects. I did appreciate that. But yeah, I had to stay up till like freaking 12 at night to check those out on syndicated TV in Madison, Wisconsin. Because they were not on network TV. Although it was local networks, but they always aired it like way late.
I always picture people like Weird Al and UHF looking at a big fucking board of how they're going to lay out the schedule. Like, come on. You could do better than that.
No kidding. Jesus. So, anyway, season 3.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, the series.
Do you have any more fond memories?
No, because quite frankly, I like a lot of people, the ideas and the concepts of season 3 are excellent, but it felt like some of it was a bit of retreading stories they've told before and trying to tell them all over again. Even sometimes down to the same damn crutch. And then also you have Johnny, and he was such a detriment to the show. He ruined it for everybody.
Kinda. Sorry, bub.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You weren't a good fit for the show, and I don't know why they cast you. You shouldn't have been cast. And I hate saying that. I hate putting the blame on the actor, but he was not a good actor. He did not fit the show in any way, shape, or form. He had no chemistry with anybody.
I got no argument. I really have no argument. I feel bad, but I have no argument. I
know. It's like, God, it's like the first time you hear me bitching about like, man, this dude sucked and he hurt the show. Well, he did. I hate to say it, but it's the fact of the matter.
We needed more of Jack. We needed more of Mickey.
Focus should have been more on them. Yes.
Yeah. More on Mickey and Jack. We didn't need the extra character, and it wasn't just that he was poorly portrayed. He was poorly written. He was unnecessary as a character.
Yep.
And really made some episodes feel rushed and crunched, like he didn't need to be there.
Yep.
As we saw, there's an entire episode that like none of the cast occurs or shows up until the last 3 minutes.
Oofta. I don't even know what to say about stuff like that. Like, it's like, man, what the writers were trying to do, I have no idea.
But you know what? Still, nothing was as bad as the Bram Stoker episode.
Oh, I'd argue My Wife Has a Dog, but
that was pretty awful.
Yeah.
Great actor. But horrible fucking episode. Creepy.
Oofta. How 80s? That's right, Idaho Mike. That's totally rad, my friend.
Hella.
That's extreme. That's totally 90s.
Yes, it is. I suppose Hella was too, wasn't it? That's hella 90s.
I don't know about Hella, though. That's kind of a... I'm trying to think of some of the terminology from back then, actually.
Helicopter?
That was Wicked.
Bitchin' was definitely 80s.
Stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. You're welcome, everybody. I did that just for all of you.
I was drinking coffee.
You're welcome.
90s makes more sense, Mikey. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Oh, Tubular. Yep.
Yay. Rad was always my favorite. Rad,
yep.
Bad,
Rad, yeah. That's rad, man. Totally Tubular.
Rad and the shit.
The shizzies.
Yeah, it wasn't until the first time I heard a black person say the shit that I actually liked it. Like before that, because I mean, where we grew up, it was predominantly white people and Hispanic people. So it was really said poorly, not exactly with any soul, for lack of a better term. And the first time you see somebody going, man, that was some shit, you're like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Party on. Excellent. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, man. Them's was some good times, too. Again, the next night, after watching this shit, the next night we'd go watch fucking Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. We'd watch Pauly Shore movies and TV shows.
Oh, yeah. Toxic Avenger.
Yep. Encino Man.
Killer Clowns, which you can see us review next Tuesday.
Yep, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, baby. Back on the schedule,
so be
boys.
Sure to click like, subscribe, and share.
Hey, just look for the stream Killer Clowns from Outer Space on our channel. Hit notify button. It'll tell you when we go live. So we got a few of our streams up. We're still working on some of the other ones, but
yeah, there's how many for Stargate? Fucking nerd.
Yeah, we got all the way up through 33, which goes into September, buddy.
I was talking to a friend, I was razzing you because I couldn't find the fucking link, of course, and we all fucking had a giggle because it was just me not seeing the load more button.
Talking to a friend which is me. Well,
yeah.
For the purposes of your story, yes. At that point, I actually was your friend.
Anyway, so I was like, my producers made like 6 fucking Stargate fucking shows that we produce, but can't do our one fucking show that we forgot to do twice already. What the hell?
You have to, when you have more than like 10 streams, you have to hit the load more for more stream button. And it takes you, I've been waiting for like 15 minutes before the stream, and Kevin's like, where's the link for the stream? Have you set it up tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'm in it right now. Well, where the hell is it? I don't see it.
And I've been wanting to like, eat ice cream and smoke weed and hang out or some shit, but no, fucking I had to.
No, we got to cover this shit ass show. Bro, I'd like to have a glass of whiskey right now, but I may fall asleep if I do. It's late enough in the day, it's been a long week, so.
Yeah. Anyway,
and a hot week.
Yeah, we're gonna have like record-breaking temperatures this weekend. Not cool.
Yeah. And I'm going to a convention tomorrow, so hopefully I could be in and out in a few hours. So that'd be cool.
It's going to smell like nerd.
I will be showering tonight and tomorrow morning before I go there. I am not like others, but I know that smell. I smelled it last year. Mad Monster Party in Arizona, everybody. So if anybody's in Arizona and you're heading that way, I'll be up in the Glendale area at that convention. Because Days of the Dead got canceled, baby.
Did it?
Yep. They had a problem with the Sheraton hotel that they were going to be at. They had some things that they couldn't quite resolve between them and the Sheraton. And so, poof, it gone. They pulled out. They canceled the whole damn thing. Wow. Some of the guests got signed for Mad Monster Party, but everybody that was going to split their time over there is all going to come the fuck over to Mad Monster Party. So it's going to be even crazier, I'm suspecting.
John D. LeMay won't be there, though. That would have been cool.
No, Robert Englund's going to be there, and Adrienne King from Friday the 13th. She's going to be there. Tracy Lords, Danielle Harris. There's David Arquette's going to be there. Soraya, formerly known as Paige from WWE, is going to be there. Cool. The lines are going to be nuts.
I like her.
And I just want to... there's only two people I want to see. As long as I get to them, it's all good. Robert Englund is not on that list. So, no, I will not have a booth mic. I am just walking the floor.
Walking the mile. Walking the mile.
If we had a booth, Kevin would already be down here right now. Because it started tonight, actually.
Yeah, that would be cool. Sometime. We'll make that a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. We hit 10,000 subscribers. I will set us up for a table the following year.
That would be dope.
So, y'all, we have until next July. Get us up to 10K. I'll put up a table at Mad Monster Party.
I just have to bring my work with me. That's all.
Yep.
That's like
lay
overtime.
Down.
Moonlighting. That's cool.
Smoke weed. Have a good time.
Dude, I got to actually moonlight today. I got to go see Superman.
Oh, you did see it then?
For work. Which is amazing. Like, I have the best job in the world. And I got to see Superman at the same time, which enables me to talk about it for tomorrow night, which is our other job. And I'm like, oh, I'm moonlighting. That's so cool.
Moonlighting.
Right? Totally cool.
Hey, only buddy who knows about moonlighting is Bruce Willis, baby.
Yeah. And that receding hairline. I feel it, baby.
That's why I'm wearing a hat.
It's too hot out here for the hat. No. Although it dropped down a degree. It's 82.
Starting to cool down a tick, yep.
Yeah.
I also have the mini fridge on back here, so it's like, okay, that's a little extra toasty in here.
I meant to bring the other trailer, or not the other trailer. Meant to bring from my trailer the other fan out to the studio so I could just have it blowing on my balls while we record. The microphone's
baby.
Yeah, the microphone's not going to pick that up, but my balls will. Most certainly so, they will. Yes, and they'll appreciate it too.
Chocolate sweaty balls.
It's so hot in here. I hate it.
Oh, Mike, one great thing about living in China, no one knows that I have a bald spot. Right on, brother.
Does really? Oh, that's bad.
Because he's tall.
Yes.
I suspect that's my guess.
Otherwise, we're racists.
Well, we got plenty of racist in that samurai episode, actually. So,
Dude, I'm 5'7". I can't say shit to nobody about nothing. But anyway, yeah. Samurai, yes, Samurai. So that was the Year of the Monkey.
yep, that's the one I remember the most because of well, of course, the statues, and of course the samurai fighting, transporting between, what was it, Hong Kong and like freaking America in like the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
I
wherever
was
this
like,
is
what?
set.
God damn! And of
It
course,
was-
they speak fluent English in Hong Kong.
Yes, they do. Very, very well. Especially Tia Carrere. Rawr. Cassandra was in this episode,
yeah.
which is probably the most notable thing about it that I didn't remember. And I got like super happy when I saw her name in the credits. I'm like, you don't suppose that could be another one, do you? So no, like it was super, super awesome to see her. But I think one of the things that always stuck with me about that episode, like I said before, it wasn't just so much the claymation of the movement of the monkeys. The animation was cool, but the lighting of that room and the father waiting for his kids was so creepy. Like it was also filmed at a Dutch angle. So whenever they did that teleportation, it was filmed at the Dutch angle. Just like if you're looking at like the Joker's lair on Batman, it was always filmed sideways.
Yeah.
And it was dark, always a different view, a different tone, and it was just so cool. And it stuck with me as a kid. Like, is that limbo? Is that hell? Is that where you go in between? That's
Purgatory.
yeah. Like it was just really, really conceptually fun.
And then Johnny walked out.
Oh, I got the thing, and then I lost it.
I got the thing and then I lost it. Basically his tale of every damn episode.
Why can't we use it? Oh, because it sucks. My bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost it. Huh. If I had to hear that one more goddamn time, I was going to chuck the season 3 in the garbage.
Makes me want to watch fucking Shaun of the Dead, where they're trying to figure out which records to fucking throw and break.
I still need to see that. I have it in the collection and I have not seen it yet.
It's so disrespectful.
It's funny. I've seen like Hot Fuzz. I've seen like At World's End. I've seen like everything except like Shaun of the Dead.
I think I saw At World's End. I'm not sure.
It's not bad. I liked it.
Hot Fuzz was okay. I didn't really care for it. Shaun of the Dead is just priceless. Absolutely priceless. Every part of it is brilliant.
That's high art compared to this shit.
Yes, it is. Beautifully acted. You don't see much of that in this season.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well,
so just really quick, people at home, since this is a live stream and we do encourage people at home to watch, if there's anything else that you'd like us to talk about, put it in the chat and we'll stray from the subject to talk about that too.
otherwise, we're just going to burn through about like 10 episodes in about 10 minutes.
That one sucked. Yep. That one sucked too. Yep. That one was all right. Sure was.
Yeah, quite frankly, they were all pretty bad.
Yeah.
Robbie and Jack were fine. I don't think the scripts met up to what they had for the first 2 seasons. So it was kind of it was a step down.
Yes. I would have expected more from the episode where, or Midnight Riders, where you see.
Oh, God. The one with Jack's dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Chris didn't do bad at all.
No, he was great.
But they could have done more with him, I think.
Yeah.
And they just didn't allow him to. But he brought a great deal of depth to something that wasn't
It
written
had
to
no
have.
depth.
Yeah, something that didn't have enough. that needed more. I think he knew it and he needed more.
And he tried to convey that as best as he could without it being on the page and without actually speaking a line about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the
that
second he
also,
said, Dad, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be good. Oh.
yeah. It wasn't horrible.
No. Horrible-ish. It was fine-ish. It was mid-ish.
It was like The Fog-ish.
It was a bitch.
Ish.
Ish.
Bitch-ish-ish-ish.
Ish. That's going to be the theme of the episode tonight, everybody.
Ish.
Ish.
We like this ish.
Yep. Well, nobody's commenting, so episode time, Kevin.
Here we go, Bubba.
Hey, if anybody does throw a comment, question, anything out there, we will cover that. Don't worry. So, episode, let's see, 10. Mightier Than the Sword. Using a cursed pen, a pulp writer transforms himself into an acclaimed novelist who is known for getting inside the minds of serial killers. And all I wrote down for this one is Robbie goes crazy at the end, and it was fantastic. And then Jack trying to be like, it's okay. And then she's still kind of dealing with like evil dreams and everything. It was pretty good.
This is where they try to touch on PTSD.
Yes.
And
my PTSD with this show even 20 years later.
I don't know. I remember this one. I did. This is another one that I remembered.
I remember this one, yeah.
Very vividly remember the stab in the neck and the gurgling sound of the blood.
Yep.
And the guy dictating what was going to happen.
Oh, he was a dick, all right.
Dick. And a creepy.
Douche nozzle.
Yeah, to the nth degree. It had a good deal of creepiness to it. It reminded me too much of the first two Pin episodes that we'd seen. There was one in the last season too, wasn't there?
Yep.
Okay, and that was the same Pin, right? Like they dropped it in the first season, and then somebody else found it by the second. Or am I thinking of another artifact?
I think you're thinking of the coin.
The coin, yes. Maybe they did get the pen. I don't know, but I remember that
they had a pen before, but it did a different trick, and it was a different pen. This was like a fountain pen where you have to pull the ink into the pen in order to write with it. But it took like the essence of whoever it was or corrupted it, depending on which number order you did it in.
Yeah. It was not conceptually, it was not bad. It was a fun start. You see a guy just completely savage, angry, about to get electrocuted, or was he electrocuted or
no, he was getting poisoned.
Gassed. That's right.
Yeah.
I
was like, wow, they're using Pepto pellets for him.
Pepto pellets. That's right.
Oh no. God, what are they called?
Alka-Seltzer.
Thank you, Alka-Seltzer.
Plop, plop, fizz.
Yep. Put those in a Coke bottle and watch it go boom. The good old days. Or is that Mentos?
It's Mentos. Well, either would work, but Mentos would have the explosive reaction with Diet Coke.
That's right.
Yeah. And I see these fucking stupid influencers trying to do tricks where they're going to blow themselves up in a giant balloon with Coke and Mentos. I'm like, it's got to be diet. I already know this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Read your science.
Do your thing. And if you survive, please come again.
Please come again.
That's my Abu Simpson's voice, everybody. If you survive, please come again.
Oh man, I was watching that this morning before I went to work, and it was just killing me. Absolutely killing me. They invited the old folks, so they brought Grandpa and two of his friends to stay at the house and not live at the retirement home anymore.
Yep.
and Marge and Homer are trying to hurry because they had 10 minutes in between the point where the kids fell asleep and the old people woke up. So they kiss, and you hear this, I hear smooching.
I hear smooching every day.
Sorry, it's the little things
that make you gay. No, I'm kidding.
They use that word and they turn it around. Well, you're gay for homophobia.
What? Shit.
I was laughing so fucking hard. I thought I was gonna wake my roommates up this morning. I was like,
oh shit.
And then I remembered that I had to talk about Friday the 13th, the series.
And then that snapped you back into cold, harsh reality of what you're doing tonight.
Yes, sir.
Well, follow that up with You're the Monkey. Father uses a potentially fatal test to challenge the loyalty of his children using 3 magical monkey statues. And for this one, I like the special effects. I like the statues, and I also like the Asian storyline. It's a lot better than the betting and gambling ring from the previous season. So the setup in this story is actually pretty okay here, but we have Johnny running around being a dipshit in this one, so it kind of kills it for me.
Other than the fact that the Japanese kids are depicted as blue suits, which was a derogatory term in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, Mike, maybe you could speak about this, seeing that as that you're in China.
Anyway, despite the fact that they were portrayed that way, this was a much better representation of Japanese culture than what they've shown previously. Although previously, I think with the tattoos, that might have been Chinese. I don't recall. Or one of the two. One of them I think they did was Chinese with the with Kilok. I don't remember now. No,
I do not remember.
Anyway, season 2 is such a blur at this point.
Yep, Tonaloke. That's who I'm gonna call it.
Tonaloke.
I'm so bad. I know everybody. We're abusing ourselves as we talk about this show.
You know, the Frog Leap cover of Funky Cold Medina is fucking rad.
It is. It is. I still have that somewhere on cassette. I think it's back at my dad's house.
The Tone Loc would be totally proud to be like, you know, that's a good way to use a cowbell, and it's a good way to do it.
Yep. Ah, the good old days.
That was terrible. I apologize, Tom.
I don't. Episode 12, Epitaph for a Lonely Soul. A mortician uses... Oh, God, this fucking episode. A mortician uses a cursed embalming tool to reanimate the corpse of a woman who he becomes as obsessed with after she dies. I was like, what the hell is going on with this show?
There is so much to dissect in this episode.
We can really dig this one up.
Yeah, let's eviscerate this a bit. Or excuse me, desanguinate. They use a now I wouldn't say a phallic type symbol, but there is a stabbing type motion involved, and
it's a phallic imagery.
Yeah, and it sucks out essence and pumps it into this lady and gives her life. And
hey, sometimes you just gotta pound it in there.
Yeah, and then she's basically ready for Bill Cosby for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
the proof is in the pudding, everybody. Just saying.
Oh, zippity bum bop. And then she eventually becomes sentient and realizes that she's a sex doll.
Oh my God, this fucking episode, dude.
I
haven't seen it for 3 weeks, but I remember this one. I'm like, wow, this is terrible.
Like, are they really writing about a narcoleptic dude?
Yeah. I'm like, they should have taken some cues from Phantasm on how to do this particular episode, because this was not it.
No, what they should have done is watch Sam Kinison. Well, no, actually, you know, I don't know that Sam actually did the bit about life fucking you after you die.
Mike, you are not wrong. Is it getting hot in here, or is it just me?
No, dude, her temperature was like 96 degrees, man.
Yep. From a sharp 20 degrees. It certainly gave everybody a rise watching this episode.
Oh, shit. She's only 96. What's that mean? She's dead.
Well, at least she's overage rather than underage.
Oh.
No, that was a bad joke. I got you beat.
If they
Who's
die,
gonna tell the worst joke on this stream tonight?
Boo.
Place your bets.
Somehow there's a Fifth Amendment joke, a double Jeopardy joke in there somehow.
Shit.
We're terrible people.
Yep. And I can't say I'm going to hell tomorrow because I'm going into Glendale. That's hell enough.
You live in Arizona, motherfucker, where everything will kill you.
Yep.
Again, like you said, it's not Texas, but it's still pretty darn hot and everything will kill you. It's all scaly and nasty.
And don't worry, anybody, I'm not going to make a Texas joke. Kevin can do that as it. No, I won't finish that sentence.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Just wash it away, Kevin.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
All my exes live in Texas.
I love.
See you in hell tomorrow, everybody. It was nice knowing everybody.
I love some of the people that live in Texas.
I have a lot of good friends and people out there. My thoughts and prayers do go out for all of them, honestly. Jokes aside.
Oh,
that's
yes.
terrible what happened. So
absolutely. Everything else aside, that's beyond horrific.
Yeah.
And I have nothing negative to say about anything there.
No. I'm just glad a lot of people I know are safe. Yes. I know a lot of people were not, so that is very sad.
And thank you to everybody that's helping.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Friday the 13th, season 3.
Well, keeping it moving, Midnight Riders. History repeats itself when a gang of bikers return from the dead to wreak small town terror. Jack's daddy is back. And that's all I got on this one because they're trying to do a biker gang episode and it's just kind of like a kind of wannabe Sons of Anarchy episode, like 25 years before Sons of Anarchy. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Like there's a bit of the fog in it. There's a bit of SOA, like you said.
Yep.
What else? There was they borrowed something else. The trying to raise the leader bit. Oh
yeah, the pink slipping thing.
Yeah, that was kind of iconic. That was neat, actually. I didn't dislike that aspect of it. Oh, the sheriff making a plan to execute them all. That was what reminded me of the fog. Or the townsfolk coming up with the conspiracy.
Oh, here's a question for you, Kevin. If you saw Boba Fett TV show, is it better than the Biker Gang and Book of Boba Fett?
I don't know. I still haven't seen that yet. Like
And I refuse to. So
like everyone whose opinion I respect has told me not to watch that. So I'm like, well, okay.
I watched like about 10 minutes and I'm like, I noped out. I'm like, this doesn't work for me. So that's about as much as I watched. So I don't even have an opinion on this.
Yeah, I haven't really liked any of the Disney Star Wars so far. Like maybe the first season of Mandalorian, but I've only really watched the pilot.
It was alright. Yeah.
I enjoyed the pilot,
but I know that's kind of a me thing. So
yeah. Acolyte was horrible. Absolutely trite.
God, that put the nail in the coffin for me. So
I did not like the sequel trilogy.
There was no sequel trilogy. What are you talking about? I'm doing a Jedi mind trick for everybody. There is no sequel trilogy.
Not yet. There's not.
Nope. Just wait for him to remake it in about 10 years.
If that.
Gonna start all the way the fuck over.
They're over the top.
This needs to be harder.
Absolutely ridiculous. Harder. Did any of them like drive a pod like Sebulba?
I think it was something like Vespas.
Oh, really?
I think somebody made a joke about like they basically are riding around on Vespas rather than actual like motorcycle kind of things.
That's fucking funny.
I don't know the legitimacy of that. That's just remember what I heard.
Just makes you want to watch fucking Terminator.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, at the beginning where Sarah's riding one of those to work and she's all fucking bad looking.
Yeah.
Meet. Nope. Like,
anybody need a lift?
If I fall over, I'm gonna die.
Well, that could have been the end of the whole Terminator franchise in like 1 minute.
No shit. She's riding a Vespa.
Dude, that would have been so funny if that's how Sarah Connor died. Instead of the Terminators actually doing it. That would have been funny.
Oh, my cousin got one like right after this, and my uncle was pissed. Oof. She thought it was cool.
Okay.
I guess I did too, but I was young. I was like 4 or 5 years old.
That'll do it.
Yep. I didn't.
When you don't understand, everything's cool.
Yeah. It went vroom, and I was impressed.
Sold.
Yeah. But I was not impressed with this season of this show because I had already seen the vroom of the first 2 seasons.
Yep. It brought the vroom, and this brought the boom, boom. And not in the good meaning.
Nope.
Well, I didn't like Midnight Riders. The idea was solid. Just it wasn't executed very well. Yeah, but then we get into Repetition, episode number 14 out of 20. A well-known columnist is transformed into a desperate killer after finding a cursed locket in his possession. This is probably the best of the bunch, honestly. This is a decent episode. It's not rated the best. And I wouldn't say it's great, but of these episodes, this was actually a bit more on the clever side, I thought.
That's funny because, again, this is the episode that the core cast is not in.
Yeah.
They left it up to the supporting cast to run the whole episode.
Basically, yeah.
Very
it was kind of sad it's kind of sad to say that, but it's like, well, when you don't have the core cast around, you could focus on the actual story a little bit. It's like, man, that's not the way you want to construct these episodes. This is not how they should be like working.
No, not really. And you did see a lot of character development in this episode.
Yep. Because
you didn't have the requirement of having the continuity of the series.
Correct.
Interesting.
So that's right.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. It was interesting. There was a lot of emotion that the main character put out, and watching his mental degradation to the point where he was just kind of like willing to give up his own soul to make everything go back to normal. Wow, like you felt it at the end, like you felt bad for him. I don't know if I would have killed myself the same way, but
Yeah, I know, right?
it's
My
like I got
God.
this
I was just
broken
like,
bottle.
what is going on? Yeah, I'm just gonna. There we go. I'm done.
Hopefully that's my jugular artery.
Yeah, if you don't do it right, you're just gonna be there in pain while you bleed out for the rest of your life.
Well, you
All
wait
2 seconds of it.
for the EMTs to show up to stitch you up.
Jeez.
Yeah, caught her.
And yes, that was a Demolition Man quote, everybody.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret your life. Both seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost
Both-
alone.
both
Demolition
seconds
Man.
of it. I almost decided to pick that up on Blu-ray tonight. Almost.
Dude,
Arrow's
that Arrow release is awesome.
Yeah, and it's only $17 right now too.
Yeah, that's because Arrow's got a sale and then Amazon's got a competing sale as well. So
Amazon's got dog shit for sale.
I know. I was looking at Prime Days and I'm like, Amy sent me some like tank top things and whatnot, and I'm like, $10 for about 5. That's all right. I might do that, but beyond that, I'm like, I don't know about like the Dr. Pepper like flavor this or that. I'm like, I like Dr. Pepper, but I don't need all that.
None of my candy was on sale. None of my root beer Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, none of the other shit I would look at has been on sale. I did buy a couple of things. I got Night Court for $35, the complete series. So
that's awesome. That's an awesome deal, actually.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's either that or I spend like $25 per season for like the 3 or 4 seasons I still need. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy this and then I'm just gonna give away the other sets, which are still sealed. I might sell them or I might just give them away.
Yeah, I mean, really, beats taking up room.
Dude, love Dr. Pepper. I actually have a real sugar Dr. Pepper still in the mini fridge back here that I'm waiting to have at some point.
Interesting. Now, are you going to put rum in that?
No, I did it on a previous one. So this is not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but Dr. Pepper, if you are tuning in, we would take a sponsorship from you.
Yeah.
Please sponsor us. But made with real cane sugar. And I've had like 3 of these, 1 with rum, 2 by themselves. Shit, I'm like, fuck it. I'll have it now.
That's not from 1988, is it?
No. They're making these right now, currently.
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
And I actually should drink this. I think the fizz is starting to go on it. So yeah, it's getting a little bit on the flat side. So drinking this now is just fine. It gives me a little something sweet while we talk about something not.
I've got my coffee, and thank you very much, Mick.
Mike is a cool dude. So.
Oh, he was telling me bless you because.
Yep, Gesundheit.
Yeah, my allergies are horrible this year.
Yeah, the pollen count down here is like wreaking havoc on me. I have a bit of a headache actually. So.
I don't know why it just got bad. It just decided to.
Well, it's about to get worse because we're going to be talking about the long road. Mickey and Johnny must use a charm that transfers one person's mind into another's body.
Yeah, this one was awkward.
This one was awful. Oh my God. I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching this shit. And the next one's even worse. We're about to talk about that in a minute.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, long road home. So
yeah. That was kind of crap. Like they're wanting to.
I call this Days of Our Lives wannabe episode.
Yeah, we're gonna be close. We're gonna have a conversation about it one day.
Yeah.
I don't really want that to happen necessarily, but whatever. Having the body or the soul in the body of the bad guy, meh. Having the episode's bad guys be essays, and I don't mean that in the Mexican way. Apologies, Hispanic community. It was just gross, meh, mid-tier. I didn't like this episode at all.
Yeah, I was utterly, like, totally tuned out on this one.
And
it wasn't even so bad I could enjoy it.
Johnny's leg gets broken before his soul gets transferred out to the other guy.
I was like, yeah.
But then when his soul gets transferred back to his body, his leg gets restored.
Well,
I guess it cured my leg. Sure.
No freaking sense ever. I tried to come up with some explanation for it. I couldn't. I'm like, you know what? I'm not giving this show any more thought at this point.
No, it doesn't warrant it.
It killed all the goodwill it had, so. And then, well, it doesn't get any better. Episode number 16, My Wife Has a Dog. A neurotic man uses a cursed dog leash to transform his wife into an obedient and faithful canine. I am not joking.
So
it's on YouTube, everybody. You can see this yourself.
So much to take away from this episode.
I do need rum for this one. Oh my god.
The necrophilia episode was disturbing enough. The bestiality episode's a little wonky. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
But it's got Dennis Forrest in it, so yay! His third and
I
final
know,
appearance.
Right?
He's played a different villain in each season, and he's amazing each time. I love him. This is not a bad performance by him. Not bad at all. Really good, in fact. But the concept about this episode is just really fucking out there. Like, he's trying to save the soul of his dying dog, a purebred golden retriever that's like 15, 16 years old, that the vet keeps begging him to put down because she's sick.
Right.
And the guy's ex-wife just wants nothing more than a divorce from him because he's a pathetic loser in her eyes.
She hates the fucking dog.
Yeah, and he just like wants her to like come see the dog, wants any excuse for his family to be together again. And I'm thinking to myself, I feel seen.
Oh my god.
But he discovers that the leash that he has, what is if he kills somebody with it, then he puts it on the dog, and the dog not only becomes obedient, but gets younger and smarter.
Yep. They've used a crutch like this in previous seasons, where you kill something, it makes you younger, or it makes you pretty, or something like that.
All the way to the point that now, please clarify this ending for me, because I'm not sure that I have it right. Did she turn into her own dog, or did he transfer the soul of his dog into his ex-wife?
That's what I thought happened.
That was my assumption.
Yeah.
Because he had an affection for the lady that was different than what he'd previously had for her.
I can't, dude. Like, this is bad. Oh, shit.
Just wowzers. And then she's just like sitting
Bowser
there.
Bowsers. Wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf. Real ugly dog.
Was it though?
I meant the lady.
Oh yeah, mostly hairless. I hate
I
that.
don't mean the actress. I just mean the character.
The fact that she wasn't a dog, that is the joke.
It's just a joke. My name is Jeff.
But anyway, that episode actually got a 6.9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm looking at IMDb too, and I'm like, wow, that's way too strong of a score for that episode. I don't understand.
Repetition got a 6.8, and The Long Road Home got 7.3.
What the hell is wrong with you people watching this show? These are terrible.
Midnight Riders got a 6.6.
That I kind of agree with, but
Year of the Monkey got a 6.7. Wow. All right. So yeah, this is one of the higher rated episodes. Again,
until the final one, because it was finally over.
I could hear Tom Servo end.
Or hear the ding. Oh, popcorn's ready.
I gotta go.
Gotta go. Well, you can't escape episode number 17, Jack in the Box. An angry child avenges her father's senseless death using a cursed toy. Kevin, tell us more about this one.
Oh, God. The public market works like this. You could use any song you want and not pay royalties with it as long as it's in the open market. Pirate shanties happen to be in the open market, and they use the same one over and over and over and over again throughout the entire episode. And you're just kind of like, please kill me too. Just stop playing that song. Stop twisting the crank.
Get the cranking, everybody. Because there's a whole lot of petty bitches going on in this one.
Again, they're really dipping into the fog here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It reminded me, there was a previous episode that they had with sailors come out of the water, didn't there? Or didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So
I think that was season 2, or it might have been season 1.
Yeah, where like the town historian was the last guy to die or some shit like that.
I think it was season 2, actually.
And he had a thing for Robbie.
Yes, he did. Could not help but keep his hands all over her.
That is actually really correct, Mike. Ubisoft did that. And
yeah.
The funny thing is I want to say you had to pay for extra, or you could pay for extra songs to have for your pirates to sing while you row on your boat. But those are public market songs. So it's like they're just making free money off of you.
For our audio listeners, when we upload this on the podcast channels, Mike asked a question so I can use sea shanties as a background music on my YouTube videos and not get struck down. That is correct. Unless they made a modern version that tweaked it to their own sort of thing. As long as it's a bit on the old school side, you are fine. I could use Mozart. I could use Beethoven. As long as it's OG, it is okay.
Yep. And that's why if you watch The Mads Are Back, Frank and Trace, or if you watch Riff Tracks, a lot of the shorts that they do are public market. So if they riff on them, they're making profit because they're not having to pay to riff it. And
correct.
Like it works out really well. And it works out even better because they're old and really cheesy.
Right. Public domain works for a lot of different things very well.
Sure does. Popeye coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Popeye's already here. What's coming next? Pluto?
I think it's Pluto, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think all of them have come out, though, for all of the Popeye horror movies, but I think one of them came out. I think the others are about to come out.
I'm excited. At least one
I'll watch
Popeye
them.
movie's got to be good.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 ain't gonna be. Hey, one of them's got to be something.
Crap! It was crap.
I still need to see Screamboat Willie.
Yeah.
That looked interesting. All the princesses. Episode 18, Spirit of Television. A dying woman uses the power of a cursed TV set. Oh, God, this one. That's right. Cursed TV set to convince people that she's a medium and push back the hour of her own death. I don't have much written down about this one other than, wow, this is lame.
Yeah. It wasn't the worst thing, but it was kind of goofy. Like, oh, here's your people on TV. Oh, okay, now go get him and make him feel bad about himself until he dies. Oh, okay.
Well,
Not the greatest. So, Mike, the reason that probably happened is a public domain song can be free, but a recording of that song can be copywritten.
Yep.
That's how that happened. So if
it takes a little finagling, yeah.
If it was from the movie, or if it was like the Philharmonic or some shit like that, it would be copywritten.
Yeah, it's a train wreck. That's why we stopped doing music's like that with all of our shows. We used to do it all the time when we first started, and we kept getting hit on TV themes, this, that, and the other. And I tried like some stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, I have to go like really old school.
Yep.
With some of that audio stuff for YouTube. So
those were the days.
Oh God, how's the rest of that go?
Oh fuck if I know, dude.
I remember that one, but that's about all I remember. I'm like, I know there's more to it than that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that was the very end of the song.
Well, I remember like Bosom Buddies a little bit, that theme song. And what was it? Simon and Simon. A-Team.
A-Team is burned into my soul, dude. I've got the metal version of that on my phone.
There's a metal version? Ooh.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's Frog Leap.
I did not know this until just now.
Hells yeah. I'll send it to you when we're done.
Cool.
Anything Frog Leap, kids, it's glorious. It's an awesome cover. And loud.
I do like metal covers of things. So
Frog Leap's a rabbit hole. Total rabbit hole.
I wonder if they did one for James Bond then.
No.
Because I do. There's a couple James Bond like metal covers that I'm like, those are pretty cool. I like that. And then there's a Mission Impossible one that's pretty good.
That wasn't Limp Bizkit?
That was not Limp. Yes, this is correct.
Sorry.
Episode 19, The Tree of Life. An obstetrician practicing druidism utilizes a cursed statue to breed druid priestesses at her fertility clinic.
Great.
I am not making this shit up, I swear, everybody.
A Druish princess.
Love. True love. That's what brought us together today.
We're getting canceled, everyone. Good night.
Yeah, baby, let's go. I knew we could do it, Kevin.
I think we've hit just about every other ethnicity.
That's right, brother. Yeah,
just so people know.
Sucked.
Just so people know we're not being racist.
It's Spaceballs reference, everybody. Oh my god.
Which is
I know if you have to explain the joke, you ruin it, but it's like if you're watching us or you've been following us for a long time, you know this is what we do right here.
Yeah. All right, so the Tree of Life was really campy and stupid. Really, really campy and stupid. That was more of your Halloween 3 and didn't
Halloween
really...
3 is better than this shit.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
All I wrote down was, this episode sucks.
Actually, no, this is a lot more like Halloween 5, and that was still better than this.
Even with the terrible fucking mask. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mask in part 4 was better. And then they go to Halloween 5 and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, he got it from the homeless guy.
Yeah. That saved his life for a full damn year.
Yeah.
Danielle, I hope to see you tomorrow.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have much to say about these episodes other than they're really lame. And Johnny just does not help any of these goddamn episodes. He really doesn't. Like, the writing just took a nosedive this season, and the acting. Robbie and Jack certainly tried to bring everything up a notch, but they couldn't save some of these terrible scripts. They just couldn't. And then Johnny got him running around interacting with everybody. And it's like, bro, just stop.
They needed Robert Downey Jr., someone like him on this set, to like be able to ad-lib better dialogue when there is none.
You mean actually have charisma and chemistry with the cast? That might help.
Yes, it would. Well, maybe if I said this to them, well, maybe that's just creepy as fuck. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, maybe we don't do necrophilia episodes. Maybe we don't do bestiality episodes. We just focus on telling a damn good story like we did with a message for 2 seasons.
But what if we do Marquis de Sade episodes?
God, the chant. What was that? I wrote down the channel pit, but it's the Charnel pit.
Yeah.
A 2-sided painting acts as a portal back to the time of the Marquis de Sade.
They don't even know when that is.
This was so bad. I like the idea, though. A good idea, but it's another time travel goddamn episode. When they do time travel episodes in this show, they have always sucked.
Yep. Although season 2 was much better than this.
Yeah, the season 2 one was actually all right. This was just straight terrible.
I'm sitting there watching like, really? We're going to do waxwork.
Yeah.
All right.
It could have been worse. We could have gone back to like season 1 and done another vampire, Jack the Ripper style.
I don't know, but anytime you go to Jack the Ripper, Marquis de Sade, Dracula, something like that, you're just kind of like, please stop. Like,
I don't know who got it in their stupid head to do an episode like this again, but they were not intending this to stop at episode 20. They got canceled right at episode 20. They were allowed to finish it, but they were done.
Yeah, and it was really unfortunate that this was the last episode because it's terrible. It's fucking awful. Yeah,
it ends like basically like a total whiff, like the whole season. Like you just feel it going, we're going downhill, and this is the crash at the bottom. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch the season knowing how good it actually was for 2 seasons. So,
out of 2 seasons, there's maybe like 2 bad episodes, 3 at best, or at worst.
Right.
Whereas
then you get to this one, and there's maybe like 1 or 2 good ones, and that's it.
Correct.
And they're all in the first like 9 episodes.
Yeah. Like very, very seldom did anything happen in the latter episodes where you're kind of like, oh, hey, that was cool. That was fun. All right, now we're back on.
Yeah, now we're talking. No.
That never happened.
God.
It was disappointing. Overall, season 3 was very disappointing.
Maybe we could comb the desert with this one.
Comb the desert.
We ain't found shit.
Season 1 and 2 was so good, and like it knew what it wanted to be. It knew what it was.
Yeah.
and it was really, really good. And it kept going up. Every next episode was a step in a better direction than the last. And this doesn't do that. It fucking ends with the Marquis de Sade. A fat fucking Marquis de Sade. Now, I'm not here to body shame, but that man could not have fucking gotten all them chicks.
No, there ain't no damn way.
Not unless he was paying for the Nook. Sorry.
Hey, if you can't see your own D from when you're standing, neither can they.
Well, now I have a new fucking fear of myself, but thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Now I have a new insecurity.
I knew I could help. Jeff delivers in the clutch. Oh.
Hey, man, when I got into like 175, 182, I was like, I miss my wiener.
This fucking with you. Oh my god. Show got canceled. That's it. So it's really sad. It's really sad. And I can see why it got canceled. The ratings were tanking, the quality went down, and Johnny was involved.
Yeah, the quality was worse than the ratings. That's the awful part.
And these are well documented that the ratings just tanked because people did not like Johnny, and the writing just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, culturally, we were going to shift. Like once the 90s came around, horror was not as popular.
Correct.
But it was still very prevalent by 88. And people were saying that, by 88, Jason Takes Manhattan, things were starting to go downhill. 91, Freddy's Dead, things were starting to go downhill. They're capping things off. I wholeheartedly disagree. Like, the horror genre, the horror community's always been thirsty. It's always been wanting more ever since the 1920s and 30s. We've always wanted more. And
horror's the one genre that just does not go away. It's just when the normies take to it is when there's a resurgence more than anything.
Yes. Or when you get a classier level of it, like you have in the last 20 years or so, because the 90s was completely devoid of fucking good horror. Like, it was very stale.
To say the least.
Yeah, it was very, very stale after the 80s. The politics in the 90s was very much censored, so everything was PG-13. But by the 2000s, they found a way to make something scary without being gross, and without showing boobs or anything like that. It didn't need or couldn't get a rated R movie. It was cerebral horror.
Right.
And that works out pretty well too, depending upon what you're watching. Something like The Conjuring or Insidious. And then they got A24 films, which is something completely different. I don't know what they are.
I don't think they know what they are either.
Yeah, not horror.
They tend that they're kind of fluid. They kind of try to skirt horror and bring it back into something else. Try and be a little bit more atmospheric and attempting to be horror, but not really be horror.
And I like Transylvania 6-5000 for that.
That's it. I like that one.
Yeah, they try to make it scary, but it's not scary. They know.
Yeah.
Saturday the 14th, same thing.
I was about to say Saturday the 14th. Yeah. that was a good one. The first time I watched that movie, I did not like it. However, upon repeat, like watching it a second time, I'm like, okay, now I get it.
I wanted to see that movie so fucking bad when I was a kid because the cover art was just so cool.
Yeah.
And the tagline on the back was, the only thing worse than Friday the 13th is Saturday the 14th. Yep. And it was written in blood. And you're just kind of like, ooh, I want to watch that.
Then you watch it and you're like, oh, wow. That's kind of a comedy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, wait, this is funny?
It's like Airplane, but for horror movies.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, I'm down. And the guy that gives the line wearing the sunglasses, the only thing worse than Friday the 13th is Saturday. It was terrible, but I liked it.
Yeah, it's so bad it was good.
Mm-hmm. That'll end up being on the list at some point.
Yeah, well, next Friday the 13th, maybe that's what we'll do. Because we still have some Friday the 13th movies we have not covered, and we are looking at incorporating Nightmare on Elm Street into the schedule eventually, but we got Evil Dead coming up in November. So you might be asking yourself, wait, didn't you guys cover those already? Shut up. We're doing them again anyway.
It's a new format.
It's a new format, and we're looking to have guests on. So it's going to be different than just hearing us two talk. We're bringing other people on so we can have some fun stories and a good time with everybody. And gives us a chance to rewatch Ash versus Evil Dead.
Which is really why we're doing it.
Exactly. So, but Kevin, I think that's about all I got. We have finally gotten through Friday the 13th, the series. Got any final thoughts for anybody out there about this one?
Oh man, no, go get some rest. Thank you for making it through this one. Like this was a slog for us. So if you watched it with us, we appreciate you. We see you.
Yep, we see you. We appreciate you. We thank you. And we thank you for tuning in to our streams covering this. Go back, hit up the other ones. If you want to hear about the good seasons, we'd absolutely love it. We're also going to talk about the bad seasons. So just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Do us a favor, like, share, subscribe this on out there. Chat, throw a comment down below. It does help. Anything you can do for us really does help with the YouTube channel and growth and getting us in front of other eyes and ears to people who like science fiction and horror like we do. So I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to see you next time.